Good morning, everyone. It is Black Spring with Autumn. Welcome to Black Spring with Autumn on your Monday, December 1st. Hope you guys are doing extremely well out there. You know, hope you guys, whether you celebrate it or not, or whatever you chose to do with your time, that you have, that you are all, that you've gotten some relief and that you're ready to go today. Okay, so with that said, I just want to come in with something that's based on a headliner that I read regarding, and it actually comes from the New York Post. Okay. So this post that I want to just give you a little bit of commentary on. I got to get in and get out this morning. So it's based on news that the Doge doesn't actually that the Doge concept, the Department of Government Efficiency, something in that realm, ends with 8 months left on the mandate. So that is essentially, what I'm on about right now. I'm like I said, I'm I hate to do something that looks like a get ready with me kind of a video, but I just wanted to get going here just for a second. Want to give you guys a chance to come in. So if you get a chance to come in and love on the like button, that would be, that would be your golden opportunity right there. So what I want to talk about is, let me just go ahead and preface this with, let me go ahead and give you my frame on this, okay? Because of course I have to run things through my own, have to run things through my own X-ray machine. So with that said, so this is about, I kind of preface this with the narrative here. Um, the narrative here is greatly based on a kind of a debt crisis containment. And it's being done by the current administration, the Trump administration, and it's also been done before. It's been done before, and I'm just here to frame the frame, okay? And this piece here again, if you're looking for a resource citement, I'm citing that this comes from the New York Post, okay? So just kind of gonna give you guys a second to come in because right now we're looking at, it is 5:57 in the AM on the the CST. 5:57 on the AM. I'm trying to get my day started and all the, you know how it goes. Just trying to get the day started here a little bit, just a little bit. So what I want to talk about, let me go ahead and get on with this. Okay, so according to this particular piece that came out of the New York Post, um, that the Doge, it's almost like it's an illusion. Okay, I want to present you with the frame that suggests that here again we deal with illusions all the time, and it's happened over the course of civilizations, over the course of different empires, and the U.S. is no exception. Okay, I've comparatively spoken of the U.S. in in comparison with ancient Rome, and then of course the Roman Empire. So you have these illusions of reform, whether it be, no matter what the premise is or the nature of it, it is actually, in this case, it's a government. It's a containment of the debt crisis, the debt crisis containment, and with the premise is built on, I again here I say the dialectic, the right dialectic, or the presupposition, which is rooted in the illusion that the conservative party or the Trump administration, the saviors of, they're going to save you from the debt, they're going to conquer the debt, they're going to restore all of these, the ideas of patriotism and all of these things. This narrative is built around those themes, and they just keep recurring. They keep recurring. They keep recurring. Good morning, everyone. I got to get you guys in and out this morning. I appreciate it. Good morning, Marcy T. Thank you, and Trust Montgomery 7932. Thank you guys for coming in and loving on the like button. I'm going to get you in and out this morning. I'm still trying to I'm trying to get it together. I'm working on it. Okay. So but I'm talking about this whole idea that the Doge has 8 months, but it's not without complications, okay, or complexities. apparently the gist of this piece that comes out of the New York Post that Doge doesn't exist. And it ends with an 8-month mandate. So of course, at the beginning of the infancy of this thing, it was around November 12th that they're citing that President Trump came into office, and of course, you had the Elon Musk kind of a bromance in which Musk, had a 30-day a special employee type position that in which he was fulfilling. And in that, Vivek Ramaswamy was actually on board with that. So, you had all of these, dare I say, elusive types of promises and things that were established at the very beginning. But it looks like most of those people, of course, Musk had a 30-day time frame in which he could actually serve in the capacity allegedly, and then you had all these other people that came on from other positions. But it looks like the people that were appointed to serve in this whole Doge initiative, according to this article, that they've all been routed somewhere else. Okay. It's almost like interagency. The agencies are having agencies. And you just look at that the solution seems to be to many of our debt crises, including education crisis, um, bureaucracy. Oh, the gift will be this and the gift will be that. We're going to cut this, we're going to cut that. Um, and basically this article is not bearing, it's bearing a lot of promises, but it's also revealing that there have been diversions, that these people that were appointed to serve this initiative, they've got other cabinet positions now. So they are not they're not fulfilling these particular, they're not filling their roles in those positions because they've been diverted to other positions within the cabinet. I mean, this all goes to it goes to the urban development. The people the person that was supposed to serve there. You've got it. It's in the healthcare under just all of these people that were tapped to serve this initiative have been diverted to some other type of position within the Trump administration's cabinet. Okay. But then they say, oh, so you had a deadline. To me, that's based on symbolism and more presupposition in another whole kind of glaze of religion uh, or pledge. It says, according to this, that their work would conclude no later than July 4th of 2026. A smaller government with more efficiency and less bureaucracy will be the perfect gift to America on the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Guys, thanks so much for coming in and loving on the like button. It's just end quote. That's what Trump allegedly wrote on True Social at the time. Quote, I am confident they will succeed. Okay, so they talk about, so just for one instance, I'm going to give you it said that Ramaswamy bowed out to his focus on his run for governor of Ohio, with the incoming administration confirming his departure on Inauguration Day. So you see all these heroes, all the symbolism and all the heroes, it's in and out. Like it's just not, it's an illusion. Am I saying, with 8 months left, in many cases, I think they appointed some type of person to serve as AI, to use AI to determine what needed to be cut or how to best serve people in urban housing and development. But they don't have any real data to present to the public for that. So here again, it is good morning. Good morning, everybody. Let me just do a quick little rundown. I kind of want to do this service, but I'm giving you, this is a New York Post article on Good Morning Freedom's March. Fred Chamber 7030. Thank you guys so much for coming in and for loving on the like button and also for tolerating me. I got to get it together this morning. But it's their Office of Personnel Management, Scott Kapoor. They're basically having to take these initiatives over, which essentially is what's happening in the other departments. Everything's just kind of going back to everything that's not being done in that initiative of Doge. It's actually going back to other departments. So it's like, I think, was that the goal? Was that the agencies were supposed to create, interagencies amongst every initiative of this whole, Doge or crisis management. Everything's going to be reshuffled back to the same, to this department or that department, in all of the name of AI, right? That just seems to be what's going on here. The same trajectory. It's not a positive feedback. It's really not moving you. You might say in technologically, it may be going in a positive feedback loop, but it's definitely not going back. It's not really moving things in a different direction. But you don't have any empirical data to serve to suggest that that's actually what has happened with 8 months allegedly remaining. Okay, so let me just say hi to everyone. But I'm just saying that this is all. Most of these agendas here again are to me a part of these narratives with illusions. They turn things from urgency to kind of a cause and effect. They use all of these elements which just kind of bring us back to they suggest that they have solutions for these problems, but nothing is actually, you don't have any ROI, return on your investment, or your return on your illusion. ROI, return on illusion. How about that? So yeah, this was just kind of on my mind, but I just feel like, over civilizations, the past, and they I've heard of Trump being revered as some type of Constantine in terms of religion, but and I've heard him being referenced in many ways. But to me, with the presupposition that they are the anti-government or less government party, I'm not getting that. I don't I'm not getting that you're not getting less government. You're not getting a more legitimate government. Is there such thing as a more legitimate government? Especially when allegedly there was a hiring freeze along inside of this mandate. Okay. Well, that freeze is over. It's essentially going to be over soon. Because it was supposed to, you can't rehire any more people. Then for every four that you hire, you can't hire but one other person. So you guys can dig around a little bit if you can. But I'm saying that these are these symbolism glazed illusions. Um, have we moved the needle on debt? Are we really moving the needle on debt? You guys decide for yourselves. It's just that the problem is deception here. Okay, is that we are. I mean, to me, we're a debtors nation. Okay, and which is reflected in our economy, which is reflected in our just past uh, shutdown, which I call that the startup. We have rise in credit card debt. We have rise in foreclosures. I mean, how in the world would you achieve that in a debtors nation? How? We don't have a pure capitalistic society. I mean, system. I think a lot of people want to try to argue that, but then why do you have corporate bailouts? You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to just give you a little bit to go on. So with that said, I'm gonna get off of here. I'll put the link in the description box for you guys. I don't know how much dough you put in the whole Doge situation, but stoic, stoic. You have to excuse me. I've been, I'm on my 5 pillars of phonics and literacy policies this morning. 888 says you could be a news anchor. Okay, well, on a world stage, I think we are the news. But thank you. I appreciate that. Fred Chamber 7030. If you're enjoying the stream, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Yes, if you really want to throw some caution to the wind, share it out. Do what you can. But I'm just saying, guys, you guys are tuned up kind of high anyway. So, I'm just giving you a perspective on what's out here, what's being pumped out here, what's in a holding pattern. I'm thinking these are illusions. They're not really necessarily in a holding pattern. It was just an illusion to begin with. Okay, it's based on presupposition. Um, it's a back and forth. If you're sitting around here waiting to see if debt's really going to change, then you might be sitting in a boat with some holes in it. I don't know. You might better start dipping water out of it, because with every one of these changes of the pendulum or the dialectic, we're right back where it started, and nothing really changes. Okay. So do your own research per usual. You know, I'm all about that. I'm all about subscriber agency, research agency. Do your own research. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I phonics. That I don't know. I don't know. Reading is we're at a crisis. That's some crisis management that I manage every day. You know, the literacy crisis. And it's a real one. It's a real one. But I'm telling you, the digital age is not helping that. Thank you so much, Marcy T. I appreciate that. Very astute of you. Latressa Montgomery 7932. I appreciate you so much for coming in. Fred Chambers 7030. Stoic 888. Get my three eights in there. Thank you so much, Fred Chambers, for coming in with that tone. Putting in work on a Monday. Yeah, you're putting in work, and I'm trying to just kind of go over the illusion of reform, going over the illusion of a debt crisis, containment, you know, redistribution, or we had the U.S. Department of U.S. Department of Education Secretary Linda McMahon. She's been on my mind all weekend, so I'm kind of on about that whole interview. I'm still on that. But she talked about how, you know, oh well, we've just shut. This is not about this. It's not about that. It's just about efficiency. And to me, that was also the whole bit. That's a bit of, you're cutting things, right? You're going to cut bureaucracy. You want efficiency. You want all these things, right? And you were going to do it through Doge, right? On the auspices of Doge. So we're going to see. Okay. So I'm just saying, but July 4th, 2026, all this stuff is always glazed. You guys with the numbers, honestly, maybe I need to tap into it because July 4th, 2026, there's a lot of significance to July 4th. We go 100 years ago, 180 years, however many years ago you want to go. Okay. But some people might be say the symbolic of, maybe symbolic of things that the empire is shutting down, or the empire is ending. So just let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Are you convinced that the Doge disillusion that there's a disillusion of the Doge initiative? And what was your take on that in the beginning? Okay, the only thing I can say that we have that's ongoing, that's recurring, is this whole idea about tariffs, and that the tariffs are going to yield payments that are going to be used. But there again, you keep hearing about the legal battles they're going to face, even if they were to do some type of dividend, or this, they're going to use this, or is this going to be, I said, is this going to be a backdrop, the whole tariff dividend? Would that be used to fund a UBI? Which that's another piece that I want to get on about, because there's some states that are they already have a form of UBI that they've already piloted. So is it a new concept? No. Is it being piloted? Has it already been piloted? Yes. But what does it mean for the nation? For those who are low to middle class, or a fixed solution for affordability. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know. I haven't checked in with Vivek Ramaswamy's. I haven't checked in with him in a while. A lot of these people are silver tongued, and they got a lot. They say a lot of good things, right? Fair speeches, fair speeches. They've got a lot of that. Got a lot of that for you. Marcy T, Prayer Warrior, I thank you guys so much for coming in, and I'm gonna get out of here because I got to get back to the Monday grind, and it's gonna be a rainy day and all this kind of stuff. So you guys know what it is. So you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for coming in. Fred Chambers 7030 says 4:05 a.m. California. Oh yeah, I'm very familiar with. This was here's an overture. This is a time. Uh, this is a time, a lot of flights go out around. A lot of flights are going out right now. just just FYI, just a lot of overshare right there. So yeah, if you're on that time zone, everybody's coming back to the East Coast right about now. And everybody else is out. The people on this are already headed to the West Coast right now. So shout out to Fred Chambers 7030. So I thank you for I appreciate you for coming in and getting up and starting this AM shift. Yeah, starting the AM. This is my AM shift, you know. I just shifted to something else, shifted somewhere else for a now. But thank you so much. Blessings to you also. Also, I want to thank you guys so much. Freedom's March, thank you so much for coming in. Marcy T. Prayer Warrior, thank you and love and blessings to you. Peace and blessings to all of you, as well as Latressa Montgomery came in hot first. Salute to you, Latressa Montgomery 7932. So just want to let you guys know that that piece is out there in circulation. But let me know what you think. There's no telling what we're going to hear because we're going towards the end of the year. I guess we're going to have end of the year types of rhetoric that I'll be running through the X-ray machine. And yeah, we'll break it down. We'll break it down. We're available. All right, guys. Thanks for loving on the like button. And I may see you later, depending on how this day plays out. But in the meantime, have a great start to your Monday. And bye for now.